Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln wheat penny coin that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coins, currency, and hidden treasures. If you've ever checked your pocket change and thought, this old penny probably isn't worth much, then think again. Because today, we're talking about one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Lincoln wheat penny from 1945. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to want to check every penny you own. Now, most of us have seen a Lincoln penny at some point in our lives. It's a classic Abraham Lincoln's proud profile on the front, standing tall and timeless. But there's something truly special about the 1945 version of this coin. What seems like just another piece of old copper might actually be a collector's dream come true. Let's take a step back in time. The year is 1945. World War II is coming to an end. American soldiers are returning home. The country is shifting from wartime industry to peacetime prosperity. It's a moment of hope, change, and rebuilding. And right in the middle of all that, the U.S. Mint is producing millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. They were made to be spent, to pass from hand to hand, helping to rebuild an economy and carry the American spirit into a new era. The penny itself might look simple, but it's full of meaning. On the front, you've got Lincoln, marking the first time a real person ever appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin. And on the back, those two wheat stalks curve around the words 1 cent, symbolizing agricultural strength, growth, and abundance. It's more than money, it's history you can hold. But here's the real question. Why would anyone care so much about a 1-cent coin from 1945? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and a few surprises. You see, while hundreds of millions of these pennies were minted, very few have survived the test of time in perfect shape. Most were worn down through decades of use. Some were damaged, scratched, or even melted down. But every now and then, one turns up that looks almost brand new, as if it was never touched. And those? Those are the ones collectors go crazy for. Even more exciting, some of the 1945 Lincoln wheat pennies have rare features that make them incredibly valuable. These could include slight minting errors, like a doubled image, off-center strike, or even a coin made from a different metal by mistake. These aren't just flaws, they're rare quirks that make a coin unique. And when collectors find a unique coin in near-perfect condition, that's when the price goes through the roof. There's also something magical about the story behind a coin. Think about it, how many people in 1945 used that same penny to buy bread, candy, or a newspaper? How many hands did it pass through during one of the most pivotal years in modern history? Every Lincoln wheat penny holds a story, and that connection to the past gives it even more sentimental and historical value. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is the part everyone wants to hear. A regular 1945 penny in worn condition might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But if you happen to have a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny that's in uncirculated condition, with no wear, strong details, and that stunning red copper luster, that's when things start getting serious. And if, by some incredible stroke of luck, your 1945 penny is a rare mint error, in near perfect shape, and verified by a grading service, then you might just be holding a piece of American treasure, because one of these coins has been valued at an astonishing $105,000. That's right, 1 cent turned into over 100 grand. And someone, somewhere, probably found it in an old jar, a coin collection, or maybe even in a forgotten drawer. So before you toss that old penny aside, give it a closer look. You might be sitting on something worth far more than its face value. Check the date, check the condition, and look for anything unusual. That tiny piece of copper could be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and hidden gems, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. We're uncovering the stories and secrets behind everyday coins, and you never know when you might strike gold. Top 2 treasure hunters and coin lovers. If you've got a jar full of old pennies sitting somewhere in your house, you might want to dig it out, because one of those small, copper-colored coins could be holding a secret that most people walk right past without ever realizing. Today, we're shining the spotlight on a coin that doesn't always get the attention it deserves, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny. Now, at first glance, it might just seem like another old penny. But what if I told you that this little piece of history could be hiding a value that'll make your jaw drop? This isn't just any coin. It's a time capsule. It's a survivor from a turning point in American history. 1949 was the start of a brand new era. World War II had ended just a few years earlier, and the country was adjusting to peace, rebuilding lives, and stepping into a new economic boom. The Cold War had just begun, and the American spirit was strong, focused, and hopeful, and during this time, the United States Mint was still producing one of the most iconic coins ever made, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. It's got a design that coin collectors and history buffs alike admire, the bold, proud profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and those two simple yet powerful wheat stalks on the back. But here's where things get exciting. While millions of 1949 wheat pennies were produced, not all of them were created equal. The ones minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco each had their own characteristics. And while most were circulated and worn down through decades of use, some escaped that fate. A tiny number were tucked away in collections, forgotten in drawers, or hidden in coin albums, remaining in pristine, untouched condition to this day, and those are the ones that really matter. You see, collectors don't just look for coins, they look for quality. The fewer the marks, the sharper the details, the more vibrant the color, the higher the value. And in the world of coins, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a quiet legend. It doesn't shout for attention like some rarer coins do, but under the right conditions, it delivers big time. What adds even more mystery to the 1949 Wheat Penny are the rare mint errors that have been found on a few of them. Imagine spotting a slight doubling on the date or a misaligned die strike. Those tiny imperfections can make your penny stand out in the world of numismatics. And when rarity meets condition, that's when collectors start offering big bucks. There's also something incredibly special about the emotional value of this coin. Think about it, someone in 1949 might have used it to buy a soda at a corner store, or maybe a child got it as change after purchasing their first comic book. That same coin could now be resting in someone's coin jar, completely forgotten, but worth far more than its humble 1-cent label. So, how can you tell if your 1949 penny is valuable? First, check the mint mark. A small D means it came from Denver. An S means San Francisco. No letter? That's Philadelphia. Then look at the condition. Is it scratched, dull, and worn, or does it still have that rich, reddish copper tone with sharp details on Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks? If you're lucky enough to find one that looks flawless, your next step is getting it professionally graded. That's where experts evaluate its authenticity, condition, and rarity, and that's also where the real magic happens, because in the world of rare coins, the value can jump from pennies to thousands in an instant. And in the case of one special 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, it was valued at a stunning $97,000. Yes, you heard that right, $97,000. For a single penny. So, before you pass by that old coin jar or skip over that pile of loose change, take a closer look. The next great discovery could be sitting right under your nose. If you loved this video and want to hear more incredible stories about rare coins, historical finds, and jaw-dropping values, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the next hidden treasure. Top 3, where we dig through history, uncover hidden gems, and shine a spotlight on coins that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Today, we're zeroing in on a coin that many people have seen, held, or maybe even forgotten in a jar somewhere. But what if I told you one version of this coin could make you rich? We're talking about the United States Lincoln Wheat Penny from the year 1944, but not just any 1944 penny. We're talking about the one minted in Denver, the famous 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. It's small, coppery, and feels just like any other penny. But there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's rewind the clock for a moment. The year is 1944. The world is in the middle of World War II. Soldiers are overseas, families are rationing supplies, and the entire country is focused on one thing: winning the war. Every resource counts, including the materials used to make coins. Just 1 year earlier, in 1943, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to steel for its pennies in order to conserve copper for the war effort. Then, in 1944, copper was brought back into use for pennies, but not in the way most people expected. Many of the 1944 pennies were made using recycled shell casings from the battlefield. Think about that for a moment. These weren't just coins, they were war metal, melted down and transformed into symbols of peace, prosperity, and a new beginning. That alone makes the 1944 Lincoln penny incredibly special. Now, the 1944 D penny, the one struck at the Denver Mint, is one of the most interesting of the bunch. Millions were produced, but there's a catch: most were heavily circulated, used in daily transactions, scratched, worn down, and forgotten over time. And while it might seem like there's an endless supply of these pennies floating around, finding one in perfect, untouched condition is a completely different story. What makes coin collectors sit up and pay attention is not just age, it's quality, condition, and uniqueness. The smoother the surfaces, the sharper the details, and the brighter the luster, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1944 penny that has been preserved perfectly, without even the tiniest scratch or smudge, is like finding a time traveler from the 1940s. It's rare, it's beautiful, and it's incredibly sought after, but there's more. Some 1944 Lincoln wheat pennies contain extremely rare mint errors, strikes that happen slightly off-center, doubled images on the letters or numbers, or even a few coins struck on the wrong type of metal. These kinds of errors happened during production and were never meant to make it into the public's hands. But a few did. And when collectors discover these mistakes, it turns an already rare coin into a one-of-a-kind treasure. Imagine holding in your hand a tiny copper coin, the size of your fingertip, but with a story woven into the fabric of American history. A coin made from war materials, minted in a time of global uncertainty, accidentally given a unique twist at the mint, and somehow preserved in pristine condition for nearly 80 years. And now comes the part you've been waiting for. So, what could a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny actually be worth? If it's the kind of penny that looks like it's fresh off the press, if it's been professionally graded, if it has that brilliant red copper glow with no signs of wear, and if, by chance, it includes a rare minting error, then you might be holding a penny that is sold for an astonishing $110,000. That's right, 1 cent, turned into $110,000. Before you pass by your old change or overlook those pennies at a garage sale, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the little D under the year. And if you find one that looks especially sharp, clean, and flawless, it might be worth more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this journey through coin history and hidden value, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on the next incredible discovery. We've got more stories, more coins, and maybe even more life-changing surprises coming your way. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next big treasure might be sitting right in your pocket.